Good afternoon. This is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is the 13th chapter to the book, A Comprehensive Prophet's Manual. And this chapter is called Are There Reasons Why Prophecies Do Not Come True? So I want to start with a story that I heard like a father of the prophetic movement. I'm not going to mention his name because uh, I haven't got the exact reference in his book, but he said that over the course of his life, he's had a couple of 100,000 prophecies, and he said that often he thought a prophecy was wrong, and yet when time elapsed and years went by, he found that nearly every prophecy that ever was prophesied over him came to pass. And so, in hearing that, I sort of tend to believe that if you're living an obedient life and you're following your life as led by the Spirit, like a prophet would, uh, there wouldn't be many prophecies that didn't come to pass, like his testimony says. Um, but here are some reasons why a prophecy might not come to pass. Um, First reason is you misunderstood it. Um, I can give an example of the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel and Matthew 24, the Mount Olivet discourse about the future. People are still arguing over what that means and what they mean. And people get the book of Daniel, Matthew 24, and the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, Matthew 24, and the book of Daniel. And there's multitudes of understandings of what that actually means. That's because people misunderstand those prophecies. So it stands to reason that you could get a personal prophecy where there's symbology as part of the prophecy, and it's not plain speech, and there can be symbols and analogies and pictures in your prophecy that you might not fully understand. And if you don't understand it, uh, then the prophecy as you understand it won't come true. Um, so the next point, you don't remember it correctly. So you could swear that you you remember a prophecy, but you could be remembering something that simply wasn't said. We all have played the game Chinese Whispers, where people line up, six people line up, and you start with a sentence and you whisper it in someone's ear, and then that person repeats it to the next person, they repeat it to the next person, gets to the end of six people, and it's totally different to what was said at the beginning. Um, that's because people can't even remember what has been said to them. And so um, there's a good chance, if your prophecy isn't coming true, that you didn't remember it correctly. You didn't understand the intricacies of the prophecy. Um, Another reason a prophecy uh, can be delayed or not come to pass is because there was a word of wisdom or a number of words of wisdom, directional words in your prophecy, and you didn't do the directional words. So if you haven't spent time in the Word of God and done the personal study in the Word of God, like God told you to in words of wisdom, like we mentioned, you may find yourself being delayed or not even called forth to preach in churches because you haven't got the foundation in the Bible that the Lord needs you to have. So if you've been getting words of wisdom that you need to get back into the Word and read the Word, and you haven't been obeying them, then there's a good chance that the Lord can't use you to preach because He needs the Word of God birthed in you. So there's many words of wisdom that are said in prophecies, and if you bounce from prophecy to prophecy and never have a practice of carrying through the directions of the Lord, there's a chance that your prophecy might not come true or possibly be delayed for years until you do the word of wisdom. I had a friend who was told to post a package to a friend, and the Lord told her to post a package to a friend, and she remembered it a year later, and the Lord had promised her promotion and a promotion in her life, and she finally remembered to post a package to a friend, and a week later the promotion came. So it was her not obeying the word of the Lord for a year that delayed her prophecy. So sometimes your prophecies are delayed because you're not doing what the Lord tells you to do. And so that's one of the most common forms of why a prophecy doesn't come true. Another one is someone prophesied in the flesh. So if someone has prophesied over you and the part of your predictive future was done in their flesh, there's a good chance that that might not come true. I've seen a number of prophecies done over my life where it's prophetic, but there was a little bit of flesh in the prophecy, and I'm able to discern that. But not everyone has got my spiritual gift and gift of discernment to be able to discern the spirit on words. And if you're holding on to something that a friend of yours prophesied over you, and they presumptuously prophesied over you and were prophesying what they wish would come true in your life, there's a chance your prophecy might not come true if an element of it was prophesied in the flesh. Um, Another way that your prophecy won't come true is you give up. You give up on your prophecy. I I remember someone saying that the only way your dreams won't come true is if you give up on them, and I am certainly know what that feeling is. I've had prophecies over my life that I'm going to preach and I'm going to travel the world and I'm going to be this mighty prophet. And they've been over my life for years. And in the last few months, I've just been saying to the Lord, as long as I can publish a book every 6 weeks, I'll be happy. It doesn't matter. I don't need to preach in churches. I don't have to become anyone important. I'll just continue being what I am. And I'm starting to see the start of breakthrough just recently today. And but you can give up. You can bury your dreams. You can bury your prophecies. You can put your prophecies to death. You can just give up. And if you walk away and you don't carry on the good fight and you don't fight the good fight of faith, the Apostle Paul told Timothy to strive and fight uh, by using the prophecies that were given to him by the laying on of hands. And the Apostle Paul told Timothy to wage good warfare by using the prophecies that were prophesied again for him. If you give up, the prophecies won't come true. I remember a story of Roland Baker, and he was slipping into dementia, and he was starting to lose his mind, and he kept on pleading with the Lord that there's so many prophecies that are over his life that haven't been fulfilled, and he continued fighting in the spirit with the Lord, and eventually he went to a healing center, and they got him on a right diet, and they reversed his dementia. Um, that's because he didn't give up. He didn't give up, and he fought the good fight, like Paul said to Timothy, by relying on the prophecies that were over his life. So Roland didn't give up, and he was totally healed, and he came back from the midst of dementia. You can imagine how Roland and Heidi Baker's ministry would have survived if Roland had full-blown dementia. She really depends on him. Um, and the sixth reason that a prophecy might not come true is a wrong spirit gave it to you. So there's many people in the prophetic movement that have got a Jezebel spirit, a spirit of witchcraft, and a spirit of false prophecy. And there's many. I've had many Jezebels try and prophesy over me, and if a wrong spirit, if a demon prophesied over you by saying flowery words and words that flatter you and words that lift you up and promise you all sorts of things. If a demon prophesied over you, there's a good chance that the prophecy isn't come true. Now, I want to share with you that I want to underline this, why I started with the story and I'll finish it. That this famous prophet, who's the father of the prophetic movement, he said that he'd had hundreds of thousands of prophecies, and what he thought wasn't going to come true. One prophecies that he misunderstood, that he got the prophecy and didn't think that it came true. It proved in time, as time passed, when he looked back in reflection and read the prophecies years later, he realized that it had been fulfilled. He just misunderstood it. So I want to assure you that if you're getting good prophetic words of seasoned prophetic people, even beginners, there's a good chance your prophecy will come true. You've just got to labor with it and make sure that you do everything called by the Lord to do, and fight the good faith of fight the good fight of faith, and lay hold and claim your personal prophecy, and don't give up. I pray that this chapter has blessed you.